Welcome to episode 3 of Saturday Stand Up. Let's talk some Seattle Mariners baseball. So after another interesting week of Seattle Mariners baseball, you guys left some questions, and there was a very common theme among some of these questions in terms of what will happen when a certain guy returns. So while we'll get into all of that, we're going to start off with question number 1, which is who gets replaced with a 3 pitchers comeback. So these 3 pitchers being referred to are Bryan Woo, Matt Brash, and Gregory Santos. So this is definitely an interesting question because there are a few avenues that the Mariners could go with this, and that is even possibly moving Emerson Hancock to the bullpen, but I don't necessarily think they will do that. But obviously, if they were to just send him back down, Bryan Woo would replace Emerson Hancock, and Emerson Hancock would go back down to AAA. But in terms of the bullpen, first of all, our bullpen is going to be absolutely stacked when those 2 guys come back. But that's besides the point. In terms of who they're going to be replacing, it could go a few different avenues. Don't forget, we also have Edward Bizardo, who's also hurt. So when he comes back, he's most likely going to be on the team. These guys obviously have to go through the rehab assignments in AAA first. But the picks that are going to be staying, Andres Munoz, Ryan Stanek, Taylor Salcedo, Gabe Spire, those 4 are automatically going to be up here. Nope, they're not getting sent down anywhere. In my opinion, I think Austin Voth is also going to be staying up here. I don't really see them sending him down because he is kind of that, like if we really need him to, he can go 5, 6, 7th inning if we really need him to go 3. To me, someone like Trent Thornton is kind of on the fence because I think if Bizardo is also in that mix, he has the possibility of also being sent down. But I think Brett DeGauze is definitely going to go back down to AAA. I don't really think that's much of a question there. So let's say Matt Brash replaces him. Let's say Gregory Santos comes in and takes, my guess would be probably Tyson Miller's spot because as they've been doing good, again, it's Gregory Santos and Matt Brash. It's kind of really tough competition to go against. And to me, if you throw Bizardo into the mix, I think he's going to take out either Thornton or Voth. Like I said, those other 4 are automatic locks. But this bullpen, all I have to say, is going to be absolutely insane when these 3 guys come back. I mean, Andres Munoz, Ryan Stanek, Matt Brash, and Gregory Santos all throwing 100 from the right side is absolutely disgusting. So yeah, I'm excited for those guys to come back, but it's going to be a little bit of a toss-up with who they think. But I mean, I don't really think there's much question on who's being sent down and the 4 guys that are automatically not going anywhere. So moving on to question number 2. With the talent and speed this team has, should Scott be playing more small ball at times, especially in low-scoring games, which the way the team is built might be quite a lot? This is a really good question because I feel like this is definitely something that a lot of people don't really think of a lot, and that kind of is the small ball approach. See, the thing for me is with the Mariners is they are not a slow team, but when you got rid of Caballero last year, you kind of removed like the dominant speed guys. Obviously, Julio's a dominant speed guy, but really besides that, we don't really have too many bag stealers. But again, they aren't slow. Like Luke Raley is not slow. You just added Clase to the mix, so he's going to get a ton of bags this year. Obviously, Julio gets tons of bags, but guys like JP, Jorge Polanco, like these aren't known for speed, but they aren't slow. So yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to this. Kind of similar just to what Luke Raley did the other night, where he had that push bunt for a single. Like that's going to work every time with guys in this lineup because nobody's really that slow. I mean, Mitch Garver's pretty slow, but that's besides the point. Having that push bunt strategy is definitely something that could work more often than not because of the shifts, especially on JP and Luke Raley. They like to shift to the right side, leaving that entire third baseline wide open. So to answer your question, I absolutely think they should be playing more small ball, kind of similar to what Samad Taylor did as well when he was up here. If they're going to give you that hole, and that's the best way to get a hit is bunting it, do it. Again, especially when we don't have as much power as we had last year. We still have power on this team, but not as much. So I definitely think small ball could be an approach at times for sure. Okay, now to get into the very popular question from you guys, but I am going to answer a second part of a question first because somebody did do a double question. And the first part of that double question is, what is the timeline for Brash's return? So as we know, Matt Brash is working his way back from an elbow strain that he had early in spring training. To my knowledge, he did throw a live BP not too long ago, and he was planning to throw another one in the most recent days. So somewhere in this time frame, he was expected to throw another live BP session. And if he did feel healthy from these live BPs, he will be going and doing rehab down in AAA Tacoma as we expected. So to my knowledge, they are also taking it outing by outing, but if I had to guess for a possible timeline for him, my guess would be probably mid-May. Again, for me, there's really no rush to get Matt Brash back. Obviously, would love to have him in the bullpen. I don't think there's much of a rush right now, so whatever he needs, maybe even give him to the end of May so he feels fully healthy and ready to go the rest of the season. I think that's what's most important because, again, it's early. We're doing just fine without them for right now, and obviously they're just going to make us that much better as a team when they come back healthy. But if I had to give you my sole guess, I would probably say somewhere around May 15th to May 19th, somewhere in there, just my pure guess. But hopefully he can come back healthy and stronger than he was. Okay, now moving on to the question that everybody has, and that is, if Clase continues to contribute to the team in the way he's been doing in the first 3 games, what do the M's do with him once Canzone gets back? And as I said, you guys have all been asking about this. I will put all the screenshots on the screen of where you guys asked. But it is definitely a very important question because, as we know, Dom Canzone was a very important piece to start off the year, and he was most likely going to be playing with us the entire season up here. And I'm going to give you kind of 2 possible situations that I think could really happen when Dom Canzone is back. And this is assuming he already did his rehab assignment down in AAA and he is fully back and ready to play. So the first one is the very obvious answer, and that is the fact that Clase has just been absolutely dominating while Dom has been gone, and they feel like Dom really can't get to the level that Clase has been playing at, obviously, if he is playing very, very well. Then they'll just send Dom down and just keep getting him reps, kind of similar to how they do with similar prospects, because technically Dom is still a prospect. He hasn't really played an entire full season at this level, so they would definitely just send him down, keep Clase up, especially if he's dominating. Now, to me, that situation is way more of a stretch, saying that Clase is absolutely dominating and they end up sending Dom down, which I don't think they want to do it by any means. So for me, this second situation makes way more sense in my mind, especially just trying to put myself in their shoes. Let's say Clase is playing very, very well by the time Dom comes back. You know, he has 15 bags. He's hitting 270 with 3 home runs, 7 doubles, stuff like that. Let's say he's doing well, nothing crazy, but he's doing well. So assuming that Clase is playing at this very good level, to my mind, this gives the Mariners a lot more flexibility in other guys that they could possibly send down. So for example, this would give Demo the possibility of no longer playing the outfield because now you have Canzone, Clase, Julio, and Mitch. So now this moves Demo to third as a possible platoon with, Rojas if he continues hitting the way he's hitting, and then this possibly sends Urias down. Or we never know. They could do it honestly anyway, and you kind of have that flexibility with Demo as well. But it kind of gets rid of that fluff if somebody's still really struggling, 70 games into the season and they're still hitting below 200. This kind of gives you the flexibility to keep Clase up with Canzone and also just push somebody else down who's struggling, which in my mind is the best approach, because if Clase can stay up here, be a speed threat, and be just an overall great player for us, while also having someone like Canzone there and moving somebody that's technically the weak link on the squad down to AAA, I think that's the best possible route for us. So thank you to everyone again for your questions on this week's episode. We'll do these every week, so make sure to follow me over on X to drop your questions. And let me know what you guys think to some of these questions, especially the Canzone and Clase question. But otherwise, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.